I'm scared of the noises now. Oh man, it's your girl Mina Mendoza, little girl, big personality, queen of spice. If only you guys would have caught what happened in the beginning. I'm over here like starting the show just regular, just how I always do. Always start the show. And Marv just started like sabotaging me with sounds. Yo, I swear to God, you should have seen it. Like, I was just like going with the flow, but I was like so concerned. So like now I'm like more on point, like so on point. So everybody that is with me, I'm sharing all the good vibes today. Today I'm the special guest. I am the guest of my show today. So it's I like it. I like it because I feel like I can talk about what I want, when I want, you know. Who doesn't want to talk about themselves? I'm just saying, like, I don't think it's a conceited thing. I just feel like, you know, it's your time to shine, and this is my episode. Reason why, though, is because my birthday just passed. January 2nd. Capricorn, Earth, sign, just saying. I just noticed something, like, this was, like, the first year. I don't know if you guys, like, believe in superstitions. So, like, I was always taught that, like, with New Year's, you can't do certain things. Like, you can't clean your house New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. That's supposedly, if you clean your house New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, it supposedly, like, it brings bad vibes or something. Like, bad vibes. You also got to wear, like, something blue. Like, all these little superstitions. So I always feel like having your birthday on January 2nd, at least for me, it's like a fresh start. I love having my birthday like right after New Year because I feel like, seriously, it's so good. Like, it's such a good feeling because, like, I remember from that movie Forrest Gump, and it's sad because it was like, you know, a sex worker that said it, but like she was like at the bar with Lieutenant Dan and she was like, don't you just love New Year's? It's like everyone gets a second chance. But like I thought about that quote and I'm like, yo, that's so true. Like, you're allowed to, like, I mean, you can start over every day. But when a new year starts, it's like you really got to start something different. So, you know, I hope everybody starts their new year with good intentions, like whatever type of, they're like New Year's resolutions, like whatever you choose as a resolution, I hope that you could commit to it. And I hope that everybody just gets what they want, as you should too. Like, manifest it. If you really want it, make it happen, you know, definitely make it happen. So, you know, on to this episode. So I'm going to talk a little bit about me because I don't think I've ever like spoke to you guys like so much about my story and like my, you know, where like all of this came from. But I do see some activity in the check-in. Definitely, you know, want to see what's going on, what people are talking about. But before we get into that, one thing that I definitely want to talk about, has anyone ever went to AC like recently? Shit is wild. I'm gonna get into some crazy ass stories, but shout out to everyone in the check-in. Shout out to Blaze. Hey, thank you, Jason. Shout out to Nadine. Santa Squad. I'm at the holiday party, but me and my coworker watching. Oh, thank you for the support, mommy. Yes, and happy birthday to you too, Nadine. You know, you're a Capricorn as well, so happy birthday. Oh, I cleaned my place on New Year's Eve, but so far good things are happening for me. You know what? Good vibes. Good vibes. You know, all good vibes. I'm just saying I'm superstitious like that. So that's just my like opinion on things. But let me get back to the topic. Like, AC is a wild place. I could definitely say that it's a wild place. Like, I feel like I haven't been to Atlantic City, I think, in like over 15 years. My memories of going to AC is definitely going with my mom, my family, going to the beach, seeing the casinos, always seeing those weird people on the boardwalk. Like, one's like the Statue of Liberty, one's like filled with copper. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like, they just like stand still and they're like pretend to be a statue. Like, wild shit at the boardwalk. But going to AC in the winter time, oh my God, like that shit was wild. Like, you could get really robbed out there on some wild shit. Like, it's definitely like a different, it's just crazy out there. It's like, I've walked in casinos where I seen people change their lives, like in a positive way, but then I also seen the faces of people like, what did you just do? Like, did you just give up your house? Like, crazy shit. And it's like, even crazy, I'm not even kidding, like it gives off like a weird vibe. I even, like, around the casinos, I don't know if anybody noticed, around any of the casinos, not necessarily on the boardwalk, but right by the casino, what's crazy is that there's like pawn shops, so many pawn shops. And I ain't gonna lie, I was, a little bit under the influence, and I'm just like walking in the street and I'm looking at all the jewelry in the pawn shops, and it was so sad because there was just a section of engagement rings. I was just like, oh my God, like, the karma and bad energy in this small little section is like wild to me. Like, it was just crazy. And like, I could just imagine. And what's crazy is that these places were open very late. Like, it was like 9, 10, 11 o'clock. And I'm just like, damn, like, imagine, like, here comes Billy walking out of Showboat. Let me go pawn my wedding ring. Like, I'm seeing this type of shit happen. It's like crazy. It's like they're smart. They like get you. Now, the other wild shit, I never witnessed this so much in my life. Like, so I'm a very like beginner when it comes to gambling. I know how to play like poker. I guess you could say I have a poker face, like whatever. I'm not a great, I consider myself an okay poker player. But like, I play spades, like whatever. Anyways, I don't know what those chips mean. But one thing that I was able to witness is like this guy, he was like in a table, right? And like, he was just like sitting at the end. He was drinking like a Corona. And it's like, wow, because like he did something. And all of a sudden he had like chips like the size of his face. Now, this is where like it gets crazy. I was just like, oh my God, I got excited for him. I was like, oh my God, you really only see these like type of things in movies. So he just won a lot of money. I think like maybe thousands of dollars or whatever, thousands and thousands of dollars. And all of a sudden, this like secret FBI agent just came out of the corner. Yo, I swear to God, I could not make this up. Yo, I swear to God. He had like those special like see-through plastic thingies that they wear like the side of their face. And like he was like on a cell phone, and then he just whispered to the guy's ear that like won. And like the guy was like, yeah. And I was just like, yo, what the fuck just happened right now? And I'm like, damn, like, do they just like get you? So they just see you like win a lot of money. They're like, yo, we're going to put it at the high stakes table. We're going to ruin his life. We're going to make him stay here for 7 days. Like, I swear to you, this bald FBI agent looking dude came out of nowhere. And I was just like, yo, this is crazy. And just, I don't know. And it's a wild place. Definitely like, not for the weak. If you want to have fun, definitely do it to have fun. Go with money that you don't care about spending. So like if you lose it, you're not crying about it. Don't do anything stupid. Like, don't get yourself arrested out there. Like, cops were out there like crazy. Just be safe out there. It could be a great time, but it could also be like a bad time. But shout out to Atlantic City. Atlantic City was really dope. Atlantic City was definitely dope. But besides AC, I was over there because it was my birthday. But yeah, my birthday. Yo, that's why like this episode, I just wanted it to be by myself. Just like Capricorn energy, just me by myself. But like, thinking about it, like when I was like thinking of memories of like just in general, like I'm like, oh shit, like I recently, if you go to my Instagram page, I recently just made a reel, and I've had guests more in the past, but what's crazy is like I was able to like film a reel of like my beginning season of March to like recently. And looking back at those photos and every one of those guests, I amazed myself. I was like, oh my God, like I met so many human beings, and I'm just so grateful to be doing something that, and shout out to the Ism. He had like recently wrote me a comment, and that comment really resonated with me in a positive way. He was like, look at like all the people that you touched and spread to the masses. Like, even if it's like not a lot of people, like I'm proud of it. Like, I love the fact that I could bring people on, have conversations with them, meet them. A lot of people, just so you know, a lot of those guests that come on to my show, I don't know them. A lot of the first interactions that I have with them is right there in that moment in that couch. And that's the type of person I am, and I'm just really grateful. Like, I think of every single guest I have had, and I'm like, oh wow, they're really cool people. So yeah, thank you guys. Like, thank you. Like, if it wasn't for people supporting me, I wouldn't be doing this at all. Like, I even think about like the first time I ever got on camera, like doing it, I was like so like I was just shocked, and shout out to the Blades and Smith show. I remember you guys put me on as a guest, and then my life changed there forever. And it was just wild. Like, I think of it to this day. I'm like, oh my God. Like, to think that I would be doing this like 2 years later, it's like, I recommend anybody that has ever thought about starting a podcast to just do it. Like, you just have to do it. Like, if you are comfortable with recording your stories on Instagram and like talking like that, why not actually do it as a show? And that's kind of like, I feel like how I got comfortable, because if anybody who followed my Instagram, I used to always just post stories and just talk. So when it came down to these podcasts, it came naturally. And I feel like even when it came down to guests, I didn't even want guests in the beginning. Not that I don't love ya, I love the shit out of ya, but I remember it was that moment when I started getting messages like, oh, can I be a guest on your show? And I'm like, what? A guest? And I remember the first time I had a guest, it was Larry, O'Neal, Jay. And I was like, how am I going to do this? Like, how am I going to go back and forth? Or is it going to flow right? So it's like crazy to me, like how much the changes have happened. And again, like if you want to start a podcast, definitely do it. Definitely do it. Try it out. Try something. There's always something to talk about. Create a niche. Create your own niche. Even to this day, I still feel like I'm still trying to find my niche, but I'm having a good time just like speaking to people. Like, one of the things that I do want to do, and I am going to do, and tell me what you guys think of this like little project. So me being an AC, right? I've been wanting to take the Mina Mendoza show just like out there, like in random places. So I've been wanting to take like a little camera. You know that little camera you see on Instagram? Like, it's always that little ass camera. Like, why can't it be a little bigger, but little ice cream cone? And like just start asking people questions. So like what's wild to me is like, how I mentioned there's a lot of homeless people in AC. I kind of want to talk to them. Not like for a long time, but like I want to talk to them and learn their story. Like, I can't, there's got to be some crazy shit out there. Like, I'll pay them a little bit for their time and just like go up to them and bring out and create a little series on that. Be like, yo, what happened? Like, why are you here? Like, here, like, I don't know, just start some shit. But literally take the Mina Mendoza show and like take it everywhere. Like, I'll go to the city, start asking questions. I start talking to people when they get out the club. They're like, is this your first time here? Is your first time clubbing? Where are you going right now? Oh, you going to eat? Where you going to eat? Like, asking random questions like that. Taking it everywhere. Even taking it to like a different country. So yeah, a little bit of what I want to do with myself. And even like, I don't know, shout out to Nadine. I didn't bring my little spice card, but I am going to bring it to my next show. But I think about that. Like, if I was ever given a spice card on what I would want to do, I think that I would definitely just, I don't know, take a crazy, kind of just take it with me. Like, create a, I don't know, like a channel, just like a channel of like random things of like, I don't know, like kind of like, I would love to make something of how MTV was back in the day. Like, I feel like MTV now is trash. First of all, MTV right now is not MTV. It's fucking ridiculousness channel. That's all they do is play ridiculousness 24/7. And shout out to Rob Deerjack. No hate to him, but anybody that grew up with MTV back in the day knows what I'm talking about. It had so many like counterparts. Like, you had like True Life. You had The Real World, Road Rules, like old school shit. Like, shit was wild. Daria, Beavis and Butthead, all these, like, I could keep going and going and going. But I would love to create just like a different section, like even bring back like a crazy character like Tom Green, like how they had the Tom Green show. Like that's what I feel like we're missing. And talking about the topic of TV, I want to ask my viewers right now, do you feel like cable is outdated? Like, are we in the age that we could say cable's outdated? And when I say cable, like what's your basic cable channels? Like Cartoon Network, MTV, A&E, Lifetime, like those type of channels. Is this outdated? Like, are people still paying for like cable nowadays? You know, I feel like anytime I go to someone's house or like watch TV or whatever, it's always like Netflix, Hulu. It's these subscription channels, you know? So I'm curious. I want to look at the check-in right now, but I want to hear from you guys. Does anyone really pay for cable anymore? Like IO, Verizon channels and all that. Like, I'm curious about that. Is it just gonna die? Like, what's gonna happen to the Food Network? I'm super curious about that. But yeah, like even myself, like I think about it. Do I watch television? I don't think I watch television. No, at all. I don't. Yeah, it's that type of vibe. But let me see. Let me look at the check-in right now. I want to hear what you guys are saying. So we have Millie. Oh, shout out to Millie. Hey, my cousin Millie. Shout out to Amanda. Yes. My best friend Amanda. Shout out to you. We're gonna do JoJo's tomorrow. Yeah, so anybody that wants to come out, me and Amanda, we're gonna do little girls night at JoJo's. You know, Nadine, I hope you can make it. Millie, if you want to come, definitely come. Oh, thank you, cousin. You're amazing. You're amazing. But yeah, I want to know, like, cable, is it dead? Like, you know what I loved about cable? Like, all those little wacky commercials. Those commercials used to be like, it used to make the television. Like, they always used to show like crazy infomercials, like some Tupperware, like some new idea that they're like, oh, you have this, but don't you want this? Like, because it's like bigger and like, I don't know, like, does it spill on you? Like, it's always like when they show like the dramatization, like the lady will like open up the bottle and it just like explodes in her face. Like something so outrageous. Like those infomercials, if we could just find like a compilation and just put them all together, I feel like that would go viral. That would be amazing. And yeah, like I used to love the commercials. I used to love like the cartoons. I feel like cartoons are not the same anymore. But yeah, let me know, like, are people still paying for television? Like, how are we still pitching for this? Are we just selling Wi-Fi at this point? And if we're gonna be talking about subscriptions, which do you feel is like the basic version? Because now I feel like they have everything. They have Disney Plus, Paramount, Netflix, Hulu. Jesus, I feel like there's one for like everything, and it's like, wow, to me, like, which one are we investing in, you know? And it's like crazy, like if you it's like everybody has a Netflix, and if you don't have a Netflix, you have like your cousin's Netflix. Like I like, seriously, someone's sharing someone's Netflix. So I don't know how it works with other accounts, but definitely someone sharing a Netflix out there. Does anybody remember how Netflix first started? That shit used to be basic. I remember at one time I thought I was gonna die. That shit was so basic, and then out of nowhere it just started exploding. I feel like series that definitely helped make Netflix explode is definitely like Stranger Things. What are like other great ones? Ozark, I feel like was like a great one. Anybody who hasn't watched Ozark, definitely get your hands on Ozark. What are like other like Netflix? You, anybody who watched You, the crazy guy, yo, that's crazy. Talking about You, it's coming out in March. I don't know. People get a little like weirded out by that guy. I got weirded out towards the end, but in the beginning I was like, oh my God, he just like really likes her. Nah, man. Like afterwards, it's a little crazy. Crazy librarian. I remember collecting books and shit. Crazy as hell. But yeah, man. Crazy. It's just like so many things I started thinking about as like I'm getting older. So like I started thinking about like things that were outdated, like cable. Also even like phones. Like me, I'm a mom. And I feel like I wanted to show my son the like phones that you actually had to dial in a circle. And it's like crazy, like how advanced that we got. And even getting to that, does anybody have a house phone anymore? Like, or do we just have cell phones? Are businesses now just gonna have cell phones? Like, is anyone ever gonna have a landline again? That's like crazy. I feel like in the future we're gonna have like these like glasses. We're just gonna press a button, like, and then like the person is just gonna show up right in front of us. It's crazy, crazy. Are we here for that type of technology or not here for that type of technology? It's a little scary. I don't know. That I'm always scared of too much technology because I'm not a tech savvy girl. I feel like if you give the world too much technology, there's going to be people like me that are not going to be able to live their lives because they're not going to know what they're doing. So to me, it's like, ooh, bits and pieces though. But yeah, crazy. Like, I feel like if anything, the future of television now is like TikTok. I feel like this is what people are watching nowadays. I feel like they're watching TikTok, and shout out to like the influencers and TikToks, because even me myself, I watch a lot of people on TikTok. Like there's a girl out there, Veronica. Shout out to Veronica. I'm about to put people on. So there's this girl, Veronica, who her series talks about acting your wage. And that's something that I feel like definitely blew up this year. It's this Generation Z, millennials, all this type of ish. But yeah, it was just like talking about like how we live in a system right now where people are waking up. People are like, no, I'm not going to do that. Why should I do that? Why should I wait, an hour extra? Like, no, you could talk to me tomorrow from 9 to 5 p.m. and legally you could say that. Like, you don't have to stay there. Like, we were so programmed back in the day to be scared to lose that job. And I feel like this generation now, it's like, no, not at all. Not at all. And you know what? I give them so much props to that. Like, so much like gratitude. Like, you're so smart, because it's like they helped our generation wake up. But I feel like, with that, it also comes that like generation of people where it's just like, it's a little weird. Like, I feel like people nowadays is like, they don't take it as serious. Like, I saw like a TikTok video where this person was getting kidnapped, and the person was like, am I getting kidnapped right now? Oh my God, it's giving adventure. I was like, that is something that a Generation Z person would say. Like, the cops are called? No, it's not that serious. Like, it's just like this generation now, it's like they're not taking things as serious. And I don't knock them. It's like a pro and a con to every generation. But with TikTok, it's like people are just literally watching TikTok. So shout out to Veronica, act your wage, girl. Definitely watch her. There's actually another person that I love, and I feel like you guys definitely have to see her. All I know, I don't know what her name is, but she's a server girl, right? She has glasses just like these, and she walks into the restaurant with her keys like this, and she's the server, and she puts like all these scenarios, like the server girl who comes into work on her day off. So I guess like there's like these restaurant people that like people who are off, they'll go to work, and they like, or the server girl that's so cool with the manager, or the server girl that, just so many different scenarios. Definitely check her out though. She makes you think about a lot of situations, and I'm like, oh my God. Like, she even had one, like the server girl that sleeps with the bartender. Like, how you could tell that, and then maybe it's a thing, like you could tell in the restaurants like who's hooking up with each other and shit, because they act different. But definitely check her out. So many people, and it's like crazy. There's a thing out there for everything. Who could actually say they're like a little addicted to TikTok? I think I am a little bit. I do find out about a lot of things. I do. You know what TikTok actually got me at? Those stupid Amazon things, like must buy, TikTok made me buy it. Like, honestly, like those things definitely make you, I would have never found certain things had I not found it on TikTok. Shit is wild. I feel like definitely nobody is using certain other social media websites anymore either. Even like YouTube. I love YouTube, but now people are using more of these advanced chat rooms where they're sending you like gifts and stuff like that, and you could get money and stuff like that on YouTube, but I see it now like on TikTok live, you know, sending gifts and all that. And it's crazy, like some of those TikTok lives, tell me if you guys have ran into them, like the TikTok lives were like, I don't know, they look crazy. It's just like these people will come on, and I guess like they do it for like charity or anything like that, but it's like they just come on and like out of nowhere my For You page was just filled with them. And I always get curious, I'm like, is this a scam? Like, is that why you're real? Like, I just think to myself, I'm like, nah, I don't know, this seems off. But let me know if you guys think that those things are scams. It's like people that just show up on your live and it just looks like, I don't know, it just looks crazy. It definitely looks crazy. Even like, think about it now. Like, when you think about even live, that's something that like, we're doing live right now. But what I'm saying is like, people don't even hold like normal conversations anymore. Like, I feel like when celebrities or anybody has to talk about something, they do it like, they'll go like, oh, I'm gonna go on Instagram live to address this. And I'm like, oh shit. And it's almost to the point now, like if it didn't happen, like if I didn't see it on Instagram or TikTok, did it even happen? Like, that's crazy. Like, people will just address it out there. People will ruin people's lives on a live. Like, literally, that's like the age that we're in. I kind of wish I could go back a little bit where we can't get as exposed as much. Like, literally, because it's like, I don't know. It's just like, if you were to tell me that we were going to live in an age where I could take out my camera and be able, you know, if you have like 823 followers, guess what? That video that you just posted, 823 people would see it. Like, if you were to tell me that while I was like 10 years old, I would have laughed in your face. And it's like, now it's like possible, and even more. Like, now people, like, if you go on live, they'll throw people from other different countries into your live, especially on TikTok. Like, it's just like random people. So it's like, I think to myself, and it's like going back to the technology, like, what's the next step? You know what I mean? Like, what's going to be, because it's like, I feel like people always are left with wanting more, wanting more, wanting more. Even with like video games, like that whole VR shit, like, don't get me wrong, it's cool. It's cool as shit. It's mad cool. But I think to myself, I'm like, imagine if somebody's world, they didn't like it anymore. And they're like, okay, I'm just going to work. I'm going to be here. I'm just going to be here forever. And then that just becomes the new thing. It's like, I don't know. That's just crazy. Like, let me know. Anybody who's ever tried the whole VR thing, how do you guys feel about that? Like, would you be able to live in that world? Some Matrix shit. It's like crazy. I don't know. It's crazy to me. I think of like, where are we going to get to? Like, cars are going to be flying now. Cars are going to be flying. Like, even writing. People are not writing anymore. Like, kids are not learning cursive in school. So it's like crazy, like all these thoughts, and like you're probably thinking like, how is this girl talking about all these nostalgia things and things of the past? It's just all had to do with my birthday. I was literally like thinking about all these things, like what in history has changed, what is going to change, you know? So it's like, I just hope that with whatever happens, good people are behind it, like good vibes. You know, I'm here for the changes. I love the changes, but I want to make sure that the changes are for the better. Like, they're good. Like, we don't create a change that ends up destroying us, you know? So, yeah, I'm all here for it. Absolutely. So, talking about, like, you know, what's going on with trending right now, I was also thinking about, like, artists. So, if you could think about an artist right now that is always popping up, I feel like every time I almost think like, do you just like make records out of nowhere, just spit them out your ass? I have to think about is Drake. I feel like Drake is always like around. It got to the point where I feel like I don't like Drake as much anymore, and like I like him, but I don't like him anymore. Like, I feel like even his music sounds stupid sometimes. Like, it does. All right, come for me, but it just like, it doesn't sound, I feel like before it was really dope. Like now it's just like, oh, like I don't know, 21, would you do something for me? Like I don't know, it's like, why are you saying it like that?
Are
It
you
sounds,
dumb?
yeah, like it sounds like you want him to dance for you. Like it sounds really weird. I don't like it. But like also like his personal love life. Like I want to know why Drake is always getting dumped. Like didn't he have like a recent scenario where he had like a necklace with 42 diamonds to represent the 42 times he was going to propose to someone? Like that's just wild. How you almost propose to someone 42 times? That means there's like 12 months in a year, right? So that's like 12 times 12 is 24 times another 12, that's 34. That's like 4 years and some change. Maybe I might be wrong. I don't know, but that's a lot of years. That's like proposing to someone once a month. It's like, damn, I'm going to propose to them. You know what? No. Like, why? That's crazy. That's crazy to me. It's like, why do you want to show that off? Like, he is the king of showing off heartbreaks. Like, he wants to get his heart broken every single time. He's like, I got to get my heart broken. I got to write a song. Like, that's what I think about with Drake.
What do you gain from that?
For real, you know? And, you know, thinking about that, where's Kanye? Yo, I'm going to just say it. Where is Kanye? No, seriously, where is Kanye? He's been missing. He's been missing. I hope Kanye, wherever the hell you are, you're good, you're safe.
You ain't got the answers, man. You
Yeah,
ain't
man.
got the answers.
I'm always going to be a Kanye fan. Always. So I hope wherever Kanye is, he's safe. And speaking about people that have been missing, Britney Spears too. Free Britney Spears. I don't know what the hell they have her doing, but I hope she's safe. You know, a lot of these people, I feel like even with the media, like they'll go on social media, but it's like, again, how do you know that's real? How do you know that's really happening? So yeah, it's just, we live in a wild time. And even like, you know, how I said earlier, how I was in DC, I can't even imagine how Vegas is. You know, like what's crazy to me is that I didn't know that you could walk with alcohol on the boardwalk and street. I didn't know that. I had no idea about that. I was like, yo, this is crazy. I was like, so you could just like walk around and just drink and not get in trouble for it? Like, that's wild to me. Like, the necessity to do that. It's like, yo, that's crazy to me. Like, I don't know. Like, that's wild. Definitely wild. I definitely... Excuse me, when I went to Vegas, not Vegas, AC, my intentions were to be on some Papa Giorgio shit. I don't know if anybody ever watched Vegas Vacation, but with Chevy Chase. I definitely wanted to be on some Papa Giorgio shit. But those machines are intimidating. I ain't gonna lie, they're fucking intimidating. I saw a table where a dude was playing, crazy FBI agent came out of nowhere. I saw a table that this lady looked like she was just sitting there for 3 days. I was just like, oh my God. Like, I don't know. And then like I put like a couple dollars in and it was just like hard for me to understand. Even like the whole gambling process is like, where did this thing stem from? I feel like every time I think of gambling, I think of like cowboys, like saloons, something back in the day, like playing cards and shit like that. But it's like wild to me. It's like you have these little tables, like the roulette, the dice, all this shit. It's just like, it's crazy. It's like, what is it legal? You know, like I feel like even like I went to Bally's, right? And they told me something crazy. So when I had went there for my birthday, it was dead because it's right after New Year's. During New Year's, the bartender was speaking and he said that for New Year's in Bally's, they had a special that for 5 hours, you pay $50, but you could drink whatever you wanted. I'm not even making this up. He literally said that to me. I was like, so you could just order whatever you want, $50. He was like, $50. I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. But that's crazy though. That's almost like dangerous. I was just like, what? And I was like, yo, I couldn't even like process it. I was just like, yo, that shit is wild to me. That shit is definitely wild to me. Shit is wild. So yeah, if anybody does go to AC, like, go there with the plan. Go there with money that you are okay with spending. Don't understand what you're playing. Don't go jump on a table and then God forbid you owe more money than you wanted to put in. Just go there with a plan. Go there to have a good time. You'll have a good time. And one thing that I didn't like about AC is that they got rid of the Ripley's Believe It or Not museum. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. Anybody who's been to AC, that building is actually really cool. It has a world like breaking down into it, and they got rid of it. They just literally got rid of it. So like, I don't know, I guess maybe COVID or anything out there, but they definitely got rid of it. Not a fan of that. Not a fan at all. So yeah, I'm not giving it bad vibes. All I'm saying is that it's different going there in the winter. In the winter was just a whole different vibe. I feel like in the summer, it gives it a different type of life persona. There's a lot of families out there, a lot of people on the boardwalk. Wintertime, that shit was just weird. Very, very weird. But anyways, so I don't want anyone thinking I'm knocking AC. Definitely go to AC. Don't come for me. It's Jersey. I love Jersey. But don't knock me for it. So I want to actually ask this question because I was thinking about it as well. Because I was thinking about like cable. I was like, okay, so what are people watching nowadays? So I noticed that people are watching more movies, like movies, series, stuff like that. So if you were given the opportunity to play someone, do you feel like you would play a villain or a good person if you were given the opportunity? I think I would play a villain. I don't know why. I feel like, seriously, I feel like villains always have the cool story. Like, seriously, I wouldn't play Dracula, but I would really play a villain because I feel like villains are superheroes that are misunderstood. That's what I think. They're just like, they got hurt. They're the ugly stepchild. That's who they are. So it's like, the system kind of fucked them over, so that's why they're villains. But villains, like the villain movies, I feel like are the best movies. Like classic one, Joker. Joker was fucking amazing. Like, you know what I mean? It made you be like, damn, this is why he's an asshole. Because like he had a horrible ass life. Like that's just crazy. I'm not saying it's great, it's amazing, but it gives you an understanding to this person. Like, you know what I mean? He's fucked up. Like, this is why he's fucked up. He doesn't know how to be a better person because nobody was ever good to him. But, like, the stories behind it, how they came about, trying to get respect or whatever. The Joker. What about, like, if you really want to think about it, the Joker's girlfriend. What's her face? I forgot what her name. Harley. No, Jean Harley. Jean Harley. Right? Jean Harley? No. Jean something. No. Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn. Why am I saying Jean Harley? Who is that? But Harley Quinn, even her story, like, she was crazy. But if you look at the movie, like, she fell into a crazy pit. She fell in love with this crazy motherfucker. You know what I mean? They weren't treating her right in her job or whatever the fuck she was. Like, her story was cool. The Spider-Man movie. I'm not good with names, but Venom. Yeah, Venom. So Venom's story is actually really, really dope. So it's like all these stories of like all these people, even if you want to dig down deep to it, like X-Men, like they were all mutants and like, humans treated them badly. And like, the division of like, should we stay with the mutants and, support us, or should we actually save these human beings that actually want to kill us? So it's like it makes you understand like why there's villains because they were actually being targeted. So it's like it just makes you, I just feel like they have a cooler backstory. Good guys have a cool backstory, but it's like, damn, like, oh, okay, good stuff is gonna happen. The villains are always just like, and they don't die. Good guys don't die. No, good guys do die. But like the villain sometimes just doesn't die. It's like, how the fuck did you survive this shit? Like how the fuck did Michael Myers keep living? How? Like I swear to God, every time I seen a Mike Myers movie, like it's wild. Like you've gotten stabbed, shot at, you fell off a roof. Like, how do you always come back? How does Freddy Krueger keep haunting my dreams? Why is Jason not drowning? I want to know. Like, yo, these stories make for it. Like, this shit's crazy. And even now when I think of those, like, how do you think those people applied for those roles, because Jason doesn't talk and Michael Myers doesn't talk. You just wear a mask. So it's crazy. Like, how do you think that application for that movie was? It's like anybody could just be it. Like Freddy Krueger had to be Freddy Krueger because of the voice. But like, how do you think they applied for those jobs? Like, how do you apply to be Chewbacca? Like, yo, these roles are interesting. I'm curious about that. How do you apply for that? How do you apply for that? Oh, man. But that's something definitely to think about. I would definitely play a villain besides a good guy. Definitely. All time. Even in a cartoon, I feel like the villain cartoons are super dope. Super, super dope. But yeah, it's crazy. I don't know. A movie that I wanted to see, but I'm still haven't seen it yet, is the Avatar movie. I don't know, has anybody ever seen it? But I definitely want to see it. I feel like those people, I don't know, those stories tell a background story. I'm a firm believer that us humans are definitely more advanced than we think we are. Like, sometimes I be watching those movies, I'm like, yo, so you're gonna tell me this whole story of civilizations just came out of nowhere? Like, this shit was just all made up? Nah, man.
How, Sway?
I'm like, Marv, where's my CSI little doo-doo? Little CSI little, there you go. There you go, definitely. I don't know. I'm a firm believer that, like, you know, we don't know a lot of things that are happening. Even like with my phone, like sometimes I feel like I have to put that shit on airplane mode. Like, I'll have a conversation with a friend and then all of a sudden, like, it just pops up on my phone. Like, shit is mad crazy. Like, you have to be careful, like, what you're saying on your phone or what you're saying, like, around any type of technology. I feel like nowadays shit is wild. Like, I don't know, shit is crazy. We live in a crazy ass world. And it's just like, I want to travel. I was like, I wonder how, like, the rest of the world feels. Like, what are they going through? But definitely if I travel, I'll take that little microphone with me. It's just crazy. Like, I think of traveling and I'm like, yo, have you guys seen the stories of people getting stuck in the airport? I don't want that to happen to me.
I'm fighting for my
No,
life.
I do not want that to happen to me. I remember, so I have a background story where I actually slept in an airport one time in my life, and that shit was wild. So one time, I had a friend, Christina, you know, she's still around and stuff. We don't talk as much anymore, but, you know, cool girl. But I remember this was years ago, and she had just broken up with her boyfriend. Thank God she broke up with her boyfriend, because if she had not broken up with her boyfriend, I would have never went on this trip. So I remember she broke up with her boyfriend. She called me and she was just like, hey, do you want to go to Colorado? And I was like, for real? Like, straight up, this girl just called me out of nowhere. Like, do you want to go to Colorado? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go to Colorado. So we go to Colorado, and I paid nothing for this trip. To go there and back, guess how much she told me? Because I was like, all right, it's not going to be free, so how much I got to pay you? And then she was like, $60. $60 to jump on a plane, go to Colorado, and then come back. So story gets spicier. The trip was amazing. It was amazing. We get there. It was honestly no trouble getting there. Talking about like crazy conspiracies, yo, if you ever go to that Colorado Denver airport, that shit is fucking weird. They have like paintings and weird statues and like some weird shit. I don't know. Weird vibes there. But anyways, we get there. Craziest trip of my life. Like, I'm not kidding. Freaking, her cousin was a weed farmer. And this is when like weed was just becoming legalized there. So I have never seen this amount of weed in my life. Ever. And literally we get to this house. Everything's super chill. And then we go to this club. Before we go to this club, we meet up with another guy and this blonde girl. This blonde girl ends up being a playmate. So she's a playmate. And then, excuse me, I'm dead. And like, I'm over here asking her these questions. I'm like, oh my God, like, so do you do this, do this? So cool. Coolest chick ever. And then we go to this mansion where the plantation is. I kid you not. This is a real story. And like, it was just wild to me. And all I kept thinking was like, yo, I'm so happy you broke up with your boyfriend. Like, I'm so happy because this story was amazing. So we go out to the club. We had mad fun. It was literally like the best 3 days. Now, this is where the sad turn of events happens. When we're going home, I don't know what it's not a standby, but it's kind of like something waiting ticket. So when we had to go home, it's like we had to wait till someone gave up a seat. I don't know what the hell that's called. But we took a plane to another state to get to Jersey. We took the plane to another state. And then the state that we were in, we had to stay in the airport for 24 hours. Literally, I kid you not, I like made a bed with my little book bag and just laid my head behind a sign that like those people counting the vouchers would be at. Like, I'm not kidding. Like, that was literally like what happened. And I was just thinking to myself, like, damn, am I ever gonna make it home? Like, that shit was wild to me. And finally, after like almost over 24 hours of staying in an airport, we were able to jump on a plane and then get home. That shit was like the wildest thing ever. But honestly, it was such a memorable trip. Like, I'll always think about that trip and I'll be like, damn, so happy you broke up with your boyfriend. So shout out to Christina. And yeah, shout out to that happening, because I feel like it's one of those stories where it's just like, again, like, I'm always gonna remember that. Super memorable. Super, super memorable. I do see some activity here in the check-in. I do want to, you know, see what's going on, what you guys are talking about. Let's see what we got going on in the check-in. Oh man. I'm dead. The Puss in Boots movie got a higher rating on Rotten Tomatoes than Avatar. I'm dead. Oh, thank you, Nadine. I love that you like the background. We were playing with it. We were trying to think, like, what should we do? Because we have the Sega, which is really dope. And then, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I have, like, this yellow radio. Can I pick it up? Okay, cool. I don't know if I could touch the props. Jesus, I'm so short.
Do it! Just do it!
Oh crap. I feel like the 80s movies where he was like, that's how I feel. But yo, shout out to this yellow radio. Anybody who grew up in the 90s, yo, this yellow radio is...
Do it!
This yellow radio is super iconic. First of all, it's a cassette. It's crazy. I haven't held this in so long. I don't even know how much this would go for. Like, this is crazy. Like, reverse, forward, rewind. Yo, you had to rewind your cassette players. If you wanted to play a song, you had to rewind. But yo, shout out to all the nostalgia. And you know what? Shout out, yeah, that's Dreamcast right there. Yo, that's crazy. Anybody who played Dreamcast, the best game was Crazy Taxi. Crazy Taxi. That game was fucking wild. Fucking driving crazy and shit. All right, who else we got? What about AI, artificial intelligence robots? Christopher. I've never seen artificial intelligence, cousin. I've never seen that. I'm dead. I remember radios, but with CDs. Did I ever have a radio with a CD? I had a boombox with a CD player, but I don't think like a portable radio like that. But that shit is dope. I swear to God, that was like so iconic for me. It was always just that. And then after that, I feel like the next phase of life with people was the Walkman. Like, everybody had the Walkman, the little like it looked like a splatter of silver paint. Like, it was like a Sony type thing. It was like the Sony Walkman. And they get anti-skip bullshit. Like, that's just still skip. But that was definitely the era. And it's crazy, like, how much things change. Like, even, like, you know, and I keep bringing it back because, again, it's a birthday episode. And me growing up, I think of, like, how times changed. Remember when we were in school and the teacher said, you're never going to have a calculator in your life all the time? Guess what? Calculators on my phone 24/7. So I always think about that time with math teachers. It's so true, though. Like, everybody had a math teacher in their life that literally said, You're never going to have a calculator any time of your life. And it's like, we don't even need calculators no more. Like, the shit comes with a calculator. Like, that shit is wild to me. Like, technology is wild. Like, your phone is literally a computer, a camera, a GPS, messaging system. You could create anything. Shit is wild. That's why I'm just like, damn, like, what is gonna be the next up? Like, what is gonna be the next situation? Like are we gonna be able to see I don't know. Like, it's wild to me. What do you guys feel like you want to be the next generation of technology? What do you want the next flow of technology to be? And do you feel like you're content with the technology we have? Should we take it even farther? Like, look at even like Wi-Fi. I remember when it was just like 3G. Now it's like what? Excuse me. It's like 5G. And then it's going to be like 6G. And then 7. It's like, now this is what I call music. 1, 2, 3. Like, where are we now? I'm so curious on that. What era of music are we on for now with that? That's pretty crazy. Oh, man. That shit is wild. Shit is definitely wild. And even like now, like, I think of my age, I'm curious to know where I'm gonna be when I'm 50 years old. Like, where's the Mina Mendoza Show gonna be? Like, what am I gonna be talking about? Like, imagine I have a Mina Mendoza Show reunion where I bring back all my guests and like we all just talk shit. Like, that should be wild. I feel like one of the best scenes is like, I don't know, I think of like talk shows and shit. I definitely think it's super ratchet, but one of the best scenes I feel like with talk shows is the Jerry Springer Show. But I love when he brings everybody on stage and everybody just clowns each other. That's like the best part. That was always like one of my favorite things. If you guys were to think of like, I don't know, a show from back in the day that definitely impacted you, which show was that? Let me know. But besides that, I don't know. This is the first time I feel like I ever have questions to like think about. Oh man, Amanda sent me the ratings in Rotten Tomatoes. I don't ever really follow the ratings in Rotten Tomatoes because I feel like sometimes I'm gonna end up liking the movie. So I don't know. I feel like who rates the Rotten Tomatoes? Like, who are the people that is actually rating this? Like, how do I know you're a good rater? Like, what if you don't watch good movies? Yeah, like, what do you gain from that? Like, how do I know? Why should I trust your opinion? Like, what do you know? Like, who are these? Seriously, like, who are these people? Rotten Tomatoes, like, yo, that's crazy. What's crazy is, like, if you make a movie, damn, that's gotta be harsh. Like, imagine making a movie, right? And putting your all in it. And then Rotten Tomatoes gave it, like, a 5. And it's there forever. Like, can you remove that? That's crazy. I would be so heartbroken, I would be so heartbroken. So heartbroken. It's like removing a Yelp review. Like, can you do that? Can you remove reviews if they're too extreme? And even that, like, with businesses, like, this is where, like, I feel like technology is good and bad. The good in technology, I love reviews. A lot of times I will look at the reviews of a product or reviews of a restaurant before I go for it. And unfortunately, those reviews can make you or break you. Like, I've seen businesses get shut down because of reviews, especially in the technology and age that we live in. Like, forget about it. You could be on TikTok and Instagram. You could make a whole video, and then the age that we live in, all you have to look at is the comments, and they will find out your business, your Facebook name, where you worked at, where you went to high school. You are done. Your face is destroyed forever. Like, perfect scenario. And it's actually like one of the coolest stories I think I've seen. And anybody, that, just likes to see like one of those revenge type of stories. Real quick, just to end the show. So it was called like Foxhound in Chicago. And it's crazy. Like, how would I know of this boutique? I know of this boutique because of this viral video. So this lady went to this antique store, right? And I'm not going to lie. Like, it looked a little wild because it didn't look better because the lady was black and the lady that owned the boutique was white. So the lady goes back in there because the purse that she had bought from this antique like vintage shop, it was a Coach purse, but it was fake. And she noticed it was fake when she got to the house. So of course she went back to the shop and she was like, hey, like, I want to return this because it's fake. Like, I want my money back. And then the lady was just being like super rude to her. She was just like, oh, we can't return it, final sale or some shit like that. She was like, how are you can't return it? Like, you sold me a fake product. Like, if I wanted to buy a fake purse, I would have went to somewhere and bought a fake purse. But I went to your specific vintage shops that gives credibility to brand names, and I bought something fake. Like, you sold me something that I never wanted. Shit's crazy. So what's wild is the lady, she ends up getting like mad, like, you know, I don't know, tries to say something to her. She was like, oh, well, this is a luxury brand. And the lady was like, this is not even luxury. Like, Coach is contemporary. But you know what? It's okay. Here. The purse was only like $45. That's the crazy thing. So she didn't want to give her money back. The lady was like, you know what? Just keep your purse. Keep your fake purse. Now, the crazy thing is those ladies put that fake purse back on sale. Because of that video went so viral. I swear to God, in the comments, destroyed this store where it's now like permanently closed. And what's crazy is that the lady that was sold that fake Coach purse, Coach, the actual brand themselves, sent her a real Coach purse. Like, isn't that crazy? So crazy. So it's like crazy how the world works. And like sometimes I think like, damn, why didn't you just return the purse? You so stupid. Like, you're over here fighting for $45. Now for $45 you just destroyed your business. Like, that's the wild shit. So that's the age that we live in. Like, you got to be very careful with what you do. One small thing and it's on camera, it's over for you.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
She fucked up forever. She lost her business forever. Like, seriously, how do you explain that to the IRS? Like, I hit bankruptcy because I didn't sell this lady. I didn't give this lady back her money for selling her a fake purse. Like, that's crazy. I feel like that's some entitled bullshit. You know what she was? That lady was a Gen Z. That lady was a fucking Gen Z, yo. That lady was a fucking Gen Z. That's what she was. I'm dead. But yeah, guys, let me know. What do you think about that story? The Wednesday series. Oh, that's something that I actually do have to watch. I have to watch the Wednesday series. I feel like that's really dope that they brought that back from the Addams Family. And I like that a Spanish girl plays it. You know, shout out to my Spanish women. That's definitely cool. But just because of the time, guys, I'm gonna be wrapping up the show really soon. I really enjoyed just like speaking my mind a little bit. You know, definitely rambled, but don't mind me. I just came back from AC, still got some airwaves to get, you know, more secure. But just in general, guys, like, I just appreciate you guys just listening to me. I love everybody that's been in the check-in. Thank you so much for supporting me. Next week we're gonna have a DJ back on the show talking about house music. We're gonna keep this light and sweet, you know, short and sweet. But thank you everybody who's been supporting me, watched the show with me, participated with me. I feel like because of you guys, it makes the show better. It makes me who I am. Mina Mendoza is gonna be here forever. Like, if you know, I got a chili symbol tattooed on me, you know what I mean? Like, this is for life. Jesus. There you go. Terrible. It kind of matches the aesthetic of the door. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But Mina Mendoza is gonna be doing her thing forever. You know, I tell you little bits and pieces of myself. I'm gonna definitely take that microphone, take it nationally, globally. If I could take it to space, I'm gonna take it to space. But we're gonna be doing big things this year. I feel like you have to think bigger, do bigger. Don't think small. You know, if you think small, you're gonna stay small. If you think big, you're gonna be big. So a lot of good vibes, all the good vibes. And just so you know, the Mina Mendoza Show is going to be going to the end of January. February, I'm going to be taking a break. And then I'm going to be coming back with season 3 in March. Yeah, so definitely stay tuned for that. Lots of beautiful content coming your way. And yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Shout out to Bravery Studios. Shout out to everybody that's been in the check-in. And that's it for now. It's Mina Mendoza, little girl, big personalities, Queen of Spice. We out of here. Let's go.